Hey, so I've got a lot of questions about the switch from Mailchimp to ConvertKit. So wanted to lay out some quick thoughts here. The first overarching thought is that if you want to do a one-time blast, like send a weekly newsletter, Mailchimp is fine. It's you're really just using any email client as Gmail, just for larger groups with unsubscribabilities. However, as you want to start segmenting the list a little bit more, Mailchimp starts to lose its efficacy. And so my overarching view on Mailchimp is that they're trying to be everything to everyone. I think a perfect analogy is Equinox as a gym. It has spin classes, it has a sauna, it has a pool, it has like a lounge for networking. You can do some CrossFit stuff. The standard is high on all of those, but the individual components are not great in isolation. Like an Equinox spin class might not hold a candle to like SoulCycle, which again, that may or may not matter to you. And so I think it tries to be everything to everyone, which I think is a shortfall once you know what you want. The second thing is that Mailchimp just overcomplicates everything. I think that the block structure for creating emails is way too complicated. It forces you to overcomplicate things. And we're going to come back to it, but the way they do list groups tags is very hard to navigate. Even sending a simple text email in Mailchimp you had to write in HTML in code. So those are all reasons why Mailchimp overcomplicates things. But so now let's go over to ConvertKit. If you take that Equinox analogy, ConvertKit is like, I want to understand what people like to read, what kind of emails, and when they want to read it. And so a big shift for me was that I'm not viewing rad reads as a Saturday newsletter anymore. That's the anchor tenant, but there's emails about books, there's emails about productivity, there's emails about Notion, there's emails about events, there's AMAs, there's videos. And I know that there are people that want to hear from me more than once a week. I know that there are some people that might want to hear from me 3 times a week. I know that there are some people that want to hear just the Saturday newsletter and my pieces about money. And to do that in Mailchimp is really difficult. 5 years of using Mailchimp, I still can't tell you the difference between a list, a group, a segment, and a tag. I can't. And there's all this double counting. Anyway, it was a nightmare. And so that's the first thing. I can get the emails to the people that want to get them. I can also let them opt out of sub-emails to get to if they're getting too much without losing them as a subscriber. So it's very kind of tailored that way. So if you think about a marketing campaign now, like for a Notion course, like I know very quickly everyone who's clicked on a Notion story. Then I can kind of send them the sales page. But at the bottom I can say, don't want to hear about Notion anymore, click here, and it immediately removes them. Nothing manual. And again, I can track clicks. I can see who clicked the shopping cart and all these things, which you could find these things in Mailchimp, but in ConvertKit, it's built just for that. So to use the Equinox analogy, like ConvertKit is SoulCycle. Like you want spinning and you want the best spinning experience possible, so that's where you go. Lastly, I would say one little feature about ConvertKit that is it was mind blowing that Mailchimp didn't have this. So let's say you send an email and someone clicks on a story that's on Notion. I can see in Mailchimp who clicked on that story, but I can't automatically tag them as a Notion reader. That's mind-blowing. So what I'd have to do is I'd have to export the list of clickers, re-import them, and then tag them as Mailchimp, as Notion users. With ConvertKit, not only can I tag them automatically, but then I can jump them into a whole different set of emails that might be appropriate, an onboarding sequence, a purchase sequence, etc., always giving them the option to opt out of that series, not the entire Rad Reads ecosystem. So I hope that helps, and please keep the questions coming. And if you do want to switch to ConvertKit, I do have an affiliate code. It's pretty profitable one, so I would love if you used it. Thanks for the question.